3 years into Airbnb, I want to be fully transparent. I'm going to break down exactly what I made in 2025, what surprised me the most, and what I would do very differently if I were starting today. If you're on the fence about hosting, this is probably the video you've been looking for. And if you're already hosting but feel like your market is oversaturated, I want to talk honestly about what still works and what doesn't. If you're new here, I'm Derek. I've been hosting on Airbnb for 3 years, learning the hard lessons in real time and tracking what actually moves revenue instead of just guessing. In this video, I'll walk you through my real numbers and expense realities, the upgrades that paid off the fastest, the biggest lessons I've learned along the way, and my plan to fix my worst season going forward. Stop thinking cheapest setup if you want premium revenue. One mindset shift would have made me significantly more money in my first year. When your market is competitive, a cheap-looking setup doesn't just show up in photos, it shows up in reviews. And once that happens, you're stuck competing on price instead of value. What I learned is that profitability isn't about spending the least. It's about investing in a space that feels intentional, comfortable, and elevated, not just filled with furniture. If I were starting again, I'd prioritize the highest impact comfort pieces first, especially the living area and the sleep setup. I'd upgrade the things guests touch every single stay, like bathroom and kitchen basics, before worrying about fun extras. And while secondhand deals can absolutely work, I'd avoid bargain versions of anything tied directly to comfort. The comfort core matters more than flashy extras. Guests might forget the decor, but they will absolutely remember how they slept. Comfort drives reviews, and reviews drive ranking and booking confidence. That's why the real foundation of a great Airbnb is what I now think of as the comfort core. This means a consistent sleep experience across every bed, good mattresses, quality linens, multiple pillow options, and backup sets so nothing ever feels worn out. It also means doing regular friction audits. Anything that feels cheap, annoying, or inconvenient eventually gets upgraded. One of the most useful signals came straight from guest feedback. When the same issue or compliment showed up repeatedly in reviews, that became my upgrade priority. Wear and tear is built in, plan for it without punishing guests. If I treated every small mishap like a crisis, my reviews would have made me pay for it. Minor breakage is part of short-term rentals. Dishes break, towels get ruined. Trying to recover every dollar through guest charges usually backfires. What worked better was building a replacement cycle into the business. I started setting aside a small monthly sinking fund specifically for wear and tear. I also got clear with myself about what's normal and what's excessive. I only charge for major damage or repeated issues, and I focus on calm communication and consistent standards. Reinvest strategically to stay competitive. Some of my best returns came from upgrades that increased perceived value, not from random spending. In saturated markets, the listings that win don't just look nice, they feel easier, more comfortable, and more intentional. Reinvestment is about making the home more bookable. I started by asking a simple question: why do people come to my area? For me, it was about relaxation, views, and being outdoors. From there, I built 1 or 2 signature experiences that supported that: an upgraded outdoor setup, a more intentional relaxation space, and small moments that guests consistently mentioned in reviews. Big amenities can pay off if you treat them like business assets. A high-demand feature can be your #1 booking driver or your biggest headache. Big amenities only work when they're reliable. If something breaks frequently or causes confusion, it quickly turns from a value add into a review risk. I learned to think of major amenities like business assets. That means factoring in upfront cost, ongoing maintenance, and simple rules that reduce misuse. I now choose reliability over the cheapest option, budget monthly for upkeep, and set clear expectations with straightforward instructions and house rules. Professional photos are a compounding advantage. I didn't realize how much revenue I was leaving on the table until I upgraded my visuals. Photos are the single biggest conversion tool on Airbnb. Better photos mean more clicks, more bookings, and better aligned guests. Instead of guessing, I researched the top performing listings in my market and found out who shot their photos. When I staged the space, I focused on warmth and lifestyle moments, not just wide shots. The impact was immediate, and the difference showed clearly when I compared performance before and after the photos went live. Know your numbers and build a plan for seasonality. Here's where the business still needs work. Peak months were strong, but slow months still dipped enough to create stress around fixed costs. What I'm focusing on now is raising the baseline during slower periods. That means tracking monthly performance closely, revenue, occupancy, and nightly rate to isolate where the drop actually happens. From there, I'm building a slow season playbook. That includes upgrades that improve comfort during that time of year, pricing and minimum stay adjustments, and tighter expense control. My 2026 goal is simple. Raise the slow month baseline so the revenue graph doesn't fall off a cliff. Looking back at 2025, my biggest wins came from investing in comfort, experience, and presentation, and treating Airbnb like a real business instead of a side hustle. If you're hosting right now, I'd love to know in the comments what your biggest challenge is. Is it bookings, pricing, expenses, or guest issues? And if you want more honest breakdowns and practical hosting advice, subscribe for more videos on becoming a successful Airbnb host.